Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, you all are having a very powerful, positive, productive, healthy, efficient Thursday. Hopefully, y'all got about 45 minutes or so to chop it up with the kid, add on, listen to the build. I'm going to give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in before we start elaborating on this subject matter for the day. Y'all see the title of this particular stream. So y'all already know we about to do some going in. We going to destroy some of these misconceptions. We going to kill the delusional nature of some folks with this particular stream. So tap in with me, man. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday, man. We got some harsh realities for the people today. Bonafide, peace, what's happening? Infinite charms, peace, what's happening? What's the word? But yeah, we got some harsh realities for the people today. People may not like some things that I'm about to say, but I've never been one to care about what people think, what people like, all that good stuff. The truth, it doesn't discriminate. Truth don't discriminate. It is what it is. So I just want to tap into the delusional nature of some folks, some comments I've been coming across pertaining to certain subjects, and I just want to build on them, give my 2 cents or whatever the case may be. But what's the word, man? Y'all let me know how y'all living and feeling first and foremost before I dive in and start building. Oh, yeah, bona fide. Now, it's obviously is known on the dudes end, but the ring part is more pertaining to the women, because the whole notion is if you want it or want her, then put a ring on her. So that's why I directed this more towards the women, because that's where that whole notion comes from anyway. They always encouraging the guy to, well, if you want her to act right, or if you want her to do this, that, and the third, put a ring on her. That's the advice that they that they typically give men, not really vice versa. Not if you want to get this dude to act right, put a ring on her. That ain't the way it naturally goes. So they always encourage the man, if you want her to start acting a certain type of way, put the ring on her. Nah, we gonna destroy that. Moni, peace, what's happening? So if first of all, if you get with a woman and the only thing that causes her to change is a material item like a ring, that right there is suspicious to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that right there is suspicious to me. I don't know about y'all, but if it takes for a material item for somebody to make some changes and start acting right, that right there is suspect for me. That's suspect for me, because I got a good heart by nature. So I don't need a certain status. I don't need certain materials in order for me to do what's right and exact. I'm going to do what's right and exact anyway, because that's who I am. I'm a good-hearted individual by my nature. So I'm gonna do what's right no matter what somebody gives me, no matter what my title is to a said person. I'm gonna do what's right simply because that's what I do. That's how I was raised. So if somebody needs something to start acting right by you, like, to me, that's always suspect. I don't trust that. It's almost like, I'm gonna give y'all a sports analogy with this whole thing. A sports analogy. Before a person becomes a champion, before the team wins a championship, they have to do what first? They have to adopt a championship mentality first. They have to practice first. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to build the chemistry first. There is no way that this team can become a championship caliber team if they don't start building the chemistry first and then putting in the practice hours. They don't just wake up and decide to be champions and become champions because somebody put a ring on their finger. Like, nah, they got to put in work. They gotta practice like the champions before them. So they got to put in that work. They got to put in the hours. They got to adopt the championship mentality, all that type of good stuff. They got to build the chemistry. And that's what leads to them becoming champions and getting their rings. Relationships are the same thing. It's teamwork. So when you get a new player on your team, when you get a new role player, a new key player on your team, you got to see how he meshes with the other team members, with the other teammates. And if he doesn't mesh that well, if the chemistry is off, then we might have to make a trade or something like that. Relationship is the same way. When we come together, man, we got to see how we work with one another first. We got to see how we working with one another. Before there's any talk of, all right, I'm going to give you this ring, this, that, and the third, we got to see how well we mesh together. And it's called chemistry. And part of that chemistry involves doing things that you would do when you are married. You know what I'm saying? That's part of building the chemistry. That's part of seeing if this thing is going to work in the first place. How else am I going to know if this is going to work or not? How else am I going to know if this going to work or not? If I got to wait to put it, like, listen to how this sounds. Lindell, what's happening? And Diz, peace, appreciate that. Appreciate the donation. Listen to how this sounds, right? So you telling me, this is what you telling me, Chris, Beast by Bless on everybody, peace, what's happening? This is what you telling me. Because this is how it is sounding. When you are telling a man, if he wants a woman to act a certain type of way or do certain things for him, that he needs to put a ring on said woman. Listen to how this is sounding. So what y'all are telling me is, before there's a ring on her finger, she's not going to do X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is that I'm striving to get her to do. You telling me without a ring, she won't do these things. So you are telling me to make an assumption that once she gets the ring, she will automatically start to do these things. That is an assumption. You already know we got plenty of phrases and statements revolving around what they say about what happens to you when you make assumptions. So y'all are telling men, basically, this is what y'all are telling men. If you want this woman to do basically the things she should be doing anyway when she's in a relationship, you telling you got to wait to put a ring on her finger so she can start doing those basic things. It'd be basic things, man. So you got to wait. Put a ring on her finger first and then see if she does these things. That's what y'all are telling dudes to do. That makes zero sense. What if the ring is placed on her finger and then she still doesn't do X, Y, and Z? Now what? Clocks in, peace, what's happening? Now what? He put the ring on the finger. Now she's still not doing the things that she wasn't already doing before she got the ring. Why? Because the ring didn't magically transform her into becoming this person. So now the ring is on her finger and now she's not doing X, Y, and Z. Now what do you tell this man? Rock, fresh, peace, what's happening? Moni, exactly. You know, and I would even go a step further that she wasn't, listen, like I said, I'm a good-hearted person by nature. I'm going to do what's right by nature. So when I'm in a relationship, you know, even before I got married, things like that. When I'm when I'm in the dating process and we dating, I'm approaching that situation like I'm doing the same things I'm going to be doing whether we married or not, fam. I'm going to do the same thing. You need some assistance, I'm helping you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm taking care of you as if we was already married and locked down because that's what I do. That's my nature. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to say, look, I'm going to wait until we tie this knot for me to start acting a certain type of way. I'm not going to do that as a man. Like, I'm not going to do that. Because I'm going, listen, there is no status, there is no ring that's going to magically transform my character. I was the same way before I got married in comparison to who I am while I'm married. I'm the same exact person. I didn't just automatically become a certain type of man once I got married. No, I'm the same dude. I do the same exact things because I was an upstanding dude beforehand. I didn't need a status. I didn't need a label. I didn't need some material item. I didn't need anybody's confirmation. for me to start becoming a better man. So why do certain women feel they need some type of material item or status to become a better woman? Fam, if I'm rocking with you, then I'm rocking with you. That label, that ring, it is doing absolutely nothing. If I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you from the jump. That is how that goes, fam, because again, I'm striving to be the best version of myself on a daily basis. I don't care what statuses I have. I don't care what labels I have. I don't care what material items I have. I'm striving to be the best version of myself on a daily basis. You know, so anybody that's connected to me, I will treat them right and exact because again, that's what I do. So if I'm not married, I'm in a relationship and I call you my girlfriend or whatever the case may be, man, I'm treating you right and exact. I'm treating you good because I'm supposed to. I'm not going to wait to treat you the way that you're supposed to be treated. Like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that because that is what I do. And if you with somebody that strives to be the best version of themselves on a daily basis, then that's what they do or they should do. It sounds foolish to tell these folks if you want to make her an honest woman. Like, look how that be sounding. You want to make an honest woman out of her, put a ring on her. Nah, she should be honest before that. She should be an honest person in general. You know, she should be right and exact in general. It shouldn't take for no material item. And I'm not telling folks that, oh man, you postpone it, make her wait 20 years to put, nah, you know, you do that when you're ready. But at the same time, man, these things, people be thinking that the status or the label of being married or marriage automatically transforms people. It does not. People think a woman getting a ring automatically would turn her into something. It doesn't. That's not how it works. That ring is not going to drastically change her. I'm trying to tell you, it is not. If she didn't cook, clean, do all that type of stuff before she got a ring, she not going to do it when she gets a ring or after she gets the ring. If a woman cooks, cleans, and does all this type of stuff by nature, she's going to do that with or without the ring. I'm telling you. So if she didn't do all this type of stuff that you want her to do before the ring, when she gets the ring, she's not going to automatically jump up and start doing these things for you. It doesn't work like that. I have not came across one married couple in my life where both parties agreed that as soon as the wife got the ring, she automatically adopted certain characteristics and changed. I haven't come across any married couple that will say that. I ain't came across one yet. I'm trying to tell you, I haven't come across any married couple that'll tell me something like that. That putting a ring on her finger drastically transformed her overnight simply because she got a ring. No. And I didn't seen a lot of married examples. I've talked to a lot of married couples. They not saying that. They are not saying that at all, man. Lindell, hey, Rusty, peace, what's happening? Yeah, Lindell for sure. And it's a license, fam. That's just all. That's all it is, man. It's a license. It's a status. It's a label. I know plenty of miserable married people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know plenty of miserable married individuals. I'm not saying, hey, marriage is all miserable, but what I'm saying is people on the outside looking in think that, oh, they got this misconception about marriage and things along those lines. And nah, it don't automatically come with happiness. It don't automatically come with success. It don't automatically come with all of these things that y'all think they come with, man. It doesn't do that. It doesn't automatically transform people overnight. That's not what it does. So I need for people to quit thinking that, quit assuming that. I know plenty of people that's miserable and married at the same time. I know plenty of people. It don't automatically just make you happy for the rest of your life because you married. You know, because somebody put a ring on a finger, now they about to be happily ever after. Man, that's a fairy tale. That's fairy tale garbage. That's fairy tale garbage, man. It's fairy tale garbage. Stop feeding into these fairy tales, man. Stop it. Stop it. You pay attention to them ways and actions before y'all tie the knot, before y'all decide to get married. That's going to tell you a lot about what type of woman she is. That's going to tell you a lot about what type of woman you're dealing with. And vice versa for the women. That's going to tell you a lot about the man you're dealing with. You know, don't let her apply pressure on you, you know, especially when it ain't been that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it take a minute to feel somebody out, man. It take a minute in regards to a commitment like that. That's a big commitment. That's a big commitment, man. Marriage is a big commitment, man. That's not light. So we shouldn't take it lightly, fam. It's not light. It's not light at all. That's a big commitment. That's a very important decision. That's a very important decision in your life. So you should treat it as such. You know, you should do thorough research, thorough examination. That takes time. You shouldn't rush into something like that, man, because it takes time. So don't let anybody apply any type of pressure to you to get married, fam, because it takes time. It's a very important decision. Very important decision. You got to make sure you enter in that commitment with the right person. You know, so you gotta check off a lot of boxes before you say, all right, cool. Now I'm ready to go ahead and walk down this path with you. Like, man, that ain't no lightweight decision, fam. This exactly. I was gonna say kids, but I ain't even want to. Of course, who you have kids with, that's gonna be that's the most important thing, because them kids connected to you forever, man. You get married, if y'all ain't got no kids together, that's really nothing. You get a divorce, woo woo woo. But them kids, man, you connected with that person for life at that point, because that kid gonna contain that kid got some of that DNA in him, or that person that you had him with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's of course that's a big decision. DJ Elmo, peace. What's happening? So that's all a big decision, man. Who you gonna decide to marry? Just being in a relationship with in general, man. That's just an important decision, fam. Because I liken it to a business decision. It's a business decision at the end of the day. That's why you got to go get a marriage license. It's a business decision, fam. That's a business decision, whether we want to admit it or not. It's a business decision, man. So you got to make sure you're making the right decision for yourself, you know, and that takes time to figure out. I'm not one of those overly romantic people and be like, I believe in love at first sight. No, I do not. I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in looking at somebody and saying, oh, that's going to be the love of my life as soon as I see him. Nah, if I don't know somebody, fam, there's no way that I can say that. I don't care how I feel when I initially come in contact with a person. I'm not one of those love at first sight individuals. So it takes time. It takes time for you to figure that out. DJ Elmo, man, I wouldn't be against that. Against the paternity test being mandatory. I wouldn't be against it. For one, because that will eliminate the awkwardness of some men having to go through the trouble to ask for one. You know what I'm saying? It eliminated. You know, so when dudes feeling a certain type of way and they got to act, like, it will eliminate all of those disputes that were caused simply because the dude wanted to make sure the kid was his. It will eliminate all that awkwardness if they make it mandatory. So that way we ain't got to have that conversation. You ain't got to be like, hey, I just want to get this paternity test to make sure this, you know what I'm saying? And then that leads to some type of argument and dispute, all that type of stuff. If you make it mandatory, it eliminates that. Did you say, what do you think the benefits of marriage are, if there are any? Now, again, so I liken it when I say it's a business decision. So then I'm going to, when you ask me the benefits, I'm going to look at it like I would look at going into business with a certain person. So the benefits of marriage, I would say, are relative to the person. You know, so when I'm going into business with somebody, this is how you supposed to pick your business partner. You supposed to analyze yourself and say, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. You supposed to go into business with a person that's strong in the areas where you are weak and vice versa. So the benefits are relative to the person. You know, the areas where I'm weak, I'm going to get into a relationship and marry a person that's strong in some of them areas where I'm weak. And that's going to help me become more whole as a person, and vice versa. You know, so I look at it like that. So the benefits are subjective and they are relative to the individual, because you want to make sure you are entering a marriage with a person that balances you out. You know, and that's different for everybody. What balances me out may not balance you out. You know, straight up. Like you might be an introvert, right? And you might get married to a woman that's an extrovert, and she got you out here at all type of social functions, networking. So now you started off as an introvert, but now she got you out of your bubble, and now you out here making contacts, and now you growing in your career. That's a benefit. You would have never came out of that shell if you didn't marry this woman that was an extrovert that kind of forced you to get out of your shell. So that's a benefit. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You can flip the script. You know, you might be the introvert and she the extrovert, and now you provide balance to her. So she came into the relationship not being able to sit down, not really knowing how to introspect and examine herself, and now she learning that from you. That's a benefit. You know, so y'all both benefiting from one another. But that's relative and subjective to each and each individual. So you got to make sure you get with somebody that balances you out. Just like you don't want to go into business with a person that's the same as you. That business is going to fail because we weak in the same areas. That business is going to fail. You know, if I go into business with somebody and I suck at communicating, I need to get with somebody that's good at communicating. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to learn from that person. And I may be good at handling the technical aspects of the business, and they gonna learn from me. So they becoming more well-rounded, and I'm becoming more well-rounded. Chaz, peace, what's happening? So yeah, so the benefits, I know that's not a direct answer, but I don't feel like there is a direct answer to the benefits of marriage, because I feel like everybody benefits differently depending on the person that you are with. And you just got to really make sure you get with somebody, because again, like I said, it's a business decision. You got to make sure you getting with somebody that can balance you out. If you get with somebody that's the same exact as you, you know, that might not work out too well. Because again, like I said, let's say you get with somebody, y'all both suck at communication. Well, when it's time to communicate some important points, nobody talking. You know what I'm saying? So if I suck at communication, but she doesn't, then boom. Now she's helping me get better and more effective at communicating. You know, so that's how that goes. D Monty, what's happening? That's how that's supposed to go. You know? Lindell, you say, do you believe in the opposites attract term? Because these days it seems correct with the quote unquote women being more attractive to the bad boy type. You know, so that, man, it's layers to the opposite attract type of, it's layers to that. It's layers to that. It's layers to that. You know, so I'm not gonna necessarily say I believe it in that sense when you're talking about the the women being more attractive to the bad boy type, because for real, at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna say that some of them women be on some bad boy type of time themselves. They just give off this appearance that they goody two shoes, but they really don't be. You know, so nah, like that is layers to that though. It's layers to that, because you can look at it on a macro level, and men and women, we are the opposites that are attracting. So that's the first opposite attracting part right there. Men and women, we are opposites and we attracting. So then when we get to a personality standpoint, like I said, it's layers to that. It's layers to that. Yeah, it's layers to it. You know, like I said, when it comes to personality, like when it comes to certain traits, then of course I'm gonna want somebody to be the opposite of me. to balance me out when it comes to like communication, being an introvert, all that type of good stuff. But then also at the same time, when it comes to principles, certain principles we got to be in agreement on. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain principles, we got to be in agreement on. So I ain't finna be attracted to the opposite when it comes to certain principles, like the foundation. So that's why I say it's layers to that. Certain things we gotta, certain things we gotta be on the same page on. Certain things we gotta agree upon. Like straight up. Deontay Peace, what's happening? But yeah, we gotta stop thinking things just gonna magically transform a man. We gotta stop thinking things gonna magically transform a woman. It don't work like that. Isaac, you say so. Two people that are quiet won't work. I'm not gonna say it won't totally work. It's possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Somebody just asked me the benefits. So if you get a person that's quiet and they get with a person that's not necessarily that quiet, that person can balance them out and that can open them up, get them out of their box. You can have two people that's of the same caliber and it works. You can have it. But I done been in positions and I done been in situations where I done been with people who are very similar to me and it didn't work from a communication standpoint. You know what I'm saying? We don't nobody know what nobody thinking because ain't nobody saying nothing. So it didn't work on my end. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't work when I had somebody that was just as talkative as I was, meaning not talkative at all. We didn't, problems were not getting solved. Like problems were not getting solved at all. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. But again, anything is possible, fam. Anything is possible. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's about balancing each other out. So what tends to happen, y'all might come in that thing with those differences, man, but then you will see the longer you get with a person, man, people start rubbing off on each other. Like that's what be happening though. Quinn, what's happening? Yeah, Lindell, man, I'm trying. It be layers to everything. That's why a lot of people back in the day, a lot of people would get on me about the way I answer questions. Like way back in the day before I was on YouTube. Because I never really answer questions directly because I don't believe a lot of questions can be answered with a simple yes or no and things like that. Because I feel like it's a lot of layers and levels to a lot of different questions. So I don't like to give cut and dry yes or no unless it's literally like that. Isaac, you say, what's your take on people looking at other people's phone? I ain't with it. I ain't know. I'm not with the looking at folks' phone situation because I'm of the impression of the way I live my life is the truth always comes to light. The cream always rises to the top. The cream being symbolic to the truth. I don't need to look in the person's phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trusting that this person, like I'm all about trust. I don't want anybody micromanaging my phone. Like I don't like people going into my stuff. I just don't like that because it gives me this whole feeling of you don't trust me. You know what I'm saying? So I treat people the way I would like to be treated. So I'm not about to go in somebody's phone because I wouldn't want them going to my phone because I know I'm not into no nonsense. So give me that respect, give me that trust. The moment you ask me to go on my phone, you have destroyed everything for me because now you like, why you don't trust me? I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have time for that. I'm not about to go. I've never went through a woman's phone. Like I'm not doing it. I don't care if it's sitting there right in my face. I'm not going through anybody's phone. If something needs to come my way, I'm gonna find out regardless, man. I'm gonna find out regardless, man. I don't need to be going through people's phone. Cause again, man, you go through people's phone, man. Look, what they say, man. If you go searching for trouble hard enough, you will find it. Now, Moni, intuition. I got, I got personal. I got people that I know that just dealt with some stuff like that, where their intuition told them to grab that phone, and it was like the moment presented itself. Even If my intuition is telling me that, I'm gonna break it down like this, Moni. If your intuition is telling you to check the phone, the intuition didn't already spoke. The reason why your intuition telling you to check the phone because you don't trust the person. So that's all I need. If my intuition is telling me to check her phone, then that intuition is also letting me know something ain't right. So I don't even need to check the phone at that point. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll with the intuition. Something ain't right. So it's like, all right, cool. So now once that gut, if you tapped in, once that gut telling you to do something, you know what I'm saying? It's basically just confirming what you already know. Because most of the time, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, most of the time, this intuition that we have to check somebody's phone, it's not random. Most of the time, that intuition stems from some things they did in the past that led to you to look at them a little funny. So that intuition don't just randomly be like, check the phone. So it ain't really a random occurrence. Your intuition telling you to check the phone because of some things that didn't happen. That's leading up to that moment that got you saying, man, I need to check this person's phone. So it wasn't no random situation. Some things didn't happen. Some red flags didn't been presented to you. You got some suspicion. And now your intuition is saying, check this phone. So nope, I'm going to listen to them red flags. I'm going to listen to the red flags, man. The reason why my intuition is telling me to check something and it wasn't telling me before is because these red flags leading up to this point. You know, straight up though. Like that, when that intuition tell you something off. Straight up. I know some people going through that right now though. And you gonna find, yeah, when you grab that phone, you gonna find exactly what you looking for. So it's like, man, if you can handle what you find, go ahead and do it. But man, if you know you gonna find something that's about to make you upset, man, don't even put yourself through it, man. That's be like, all right, man, my intuition, man, something is off. This is what I've observed over the weeks, over the months, over the years, and I'm adding all of this together. I need to make a move. Quentin, what you say? Why do women stop wanting sex after marriage, but before you get married, they say they want to wait? Hey, well, I don't know if I can really answer that. Let me read that question again for myself and for the audience here. Why do women stop wanting sex after marriage, but before you get married, they say they want to wait? I don't even know if that's the reality for a lot of for a lot of married folk. I don't know. That one I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna try to give you an answer on that, because that's gonna be on an individual basis. I don't know why a woman would be on that type of time. I don't know why. Now, the whole waiting part, I can answer that. But when they married and then they still not striving to get down or whatever the case may be, I don't know. It could be a million different reasons why that's happening. Some good, some bad. You know, it could be that she on some other type of time, or it could be that she just don't want to do it. I don't know. It could be a lot of different reasons, but I ain't even about to act like I can answer that one. It'll take for a woman that did that to answer that one. Yeah, I ain't gonna even answer that one for you. It'll take for a woman that possesses that mentality to answer that question. So I'm not too big to say I can't answer a question. I can't answer that question. Straight up. So I ain't gonna even lie to you. I ain't gonna give you no lie. I ain't gonna give you no sophisticated answer, because it'll be some nonsense. If I answer that question, it'll be some BS that I just made up, and I ain't in the business of making up answers. But that's a solid question though for the ones that did that. You know, if you a woman that did that, that's a very good question. And my man's Quentin needs answers. So somebody get that man Quentin an answer if you did that. Somebody give my man some answers. Quentin looking for some answers. Somebody give them to him. Bona fide, man, exactly. And that's why I said that too. That's why I said, like, if your intuition is telling you something, getting the confirmation might not even do you no good. Because all, like you said, all the person gonna do is lie about it, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, don't even do that. That just gonna make, it's probably gonna make you more mad. It's gonna make you more upset. Lights out, man. Tell them people to holler at me. Yeah, we asking these questions, man. We asking these questions. Y'all ask some good questions. We answer questions around here, man. You know, we don't run. We don't run from them. We don't run from them, man. I'll put a good question up on the screen for real. Why do some women feel that acting masculine like a man is a good thing? Isaac, it's funny that you asked that question. See, we be all tapped in. Synchronicity be happening on my stream because I was just having this conversation with some male clients of mine. Well, a male client of mine. Now, this goes back to the stream that I made maybe like a day or two ago in regards to the role reversal. You know what I'm saying? So they basically didn't let us know that this was gonna happen. But that whole why do women feel like feel that acting masculine like a man is a good thing? Man, listen, because of the way society is programmed. You know, the way society is programmed, fam. Society got them programmed to embrace this whole independent, I can do everything on my own, I can do the same stuff as a man mentality. Society got them embracing this type of mentality. You know, so they think stepping to a man or stepping like a man is symbolic to some form of power, when really they just need to sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Really, they need to sit down somewhere, man, for real. Like that stuff be getting women hurt out here. Man, you think you trying to step like a man and you stepping to men like a man. Hey, some dudes ain't going for that. And then you got some people that don't even think. I done had people tell me straight up that they don't think, and this is not my thoughts. These are not my thoughts. I done had some people come out here. I done had some people come out here and tell me masculine energy doesn't like, we don't own masculine energy, right? I didn't heard people. Some people that told me this. Men, like we men, we don't own masculine energy, you know, and women got to learn how to tap into their masculine side and things like that, because the masculine energy doesn't necessarily just belong to men. And same for the feminine energy, and how the men need to tap more into their feminine side and things like that. You know, so you got a bunch of philosophies like this going around, and it's creating a lot of confused individuals. So people out here really don't think that masculinity is something that's assigned to men. Literally, it's people out here that thinks that. Like, if you look up the word masculinity, what is the definition? What is the definition? When you look up masculinity, we just gonna go off of the very first definition you come across. Qualities or attributes regarded as characteristic of men or boys. Let's read that again. Masculinity. If we read the first definition, we just gonna read the definition, man. We're gonna read the definition given to us here. Masculinity, qualities or attributes regarded as characteristic of men or boys. So when people, when women out here start telling me, well, y'all don't own, like, masculinity ain't just something that's assigned to men. Yes, it is. Like, yes, it is. So I'm like, what are we talking? Like, literally, yes, it is. Now, if we get down to the science, If we get down to the side, because somebody tried to get down to the science, somebody tried to bring this into the equation. Well, we contain testosterone and y'all contain estrogen. Do we understand the amount of estrogen that a man contains compared to a woman? Do we understand the amount of testosterone that a woman contains compared to a man? There is no way on this planet, unless I am consuming all of these food, and even still that estrogen level ain't gonna be that close to a woman. But there is no way that I can understand what it's like to have the same estrogen levels as the average woman. Just like there is no way on the planet any regular woman can know what it's like to have the same level of testosterone that I have. So I'm not gonna act like I can understand that. But we got women out here acting like they know what it's like to have all of this testosterone. Man, y'all don't know the have. Stop acting like y'all know the have. Stop. Y'all do not know. Listen, there is no way. Like, and when I started talking to my client yesterday about this same topic or same question that was asked. When we was talking about that, it came into like raising kids and things like that. And I was like, man, I don't care how much of a stud a woman is. I don't care how much a woman tries to act like a man. She can't have my testosterone levels. She will not understand the physiological changes that transpire from a boy to a man. She ain't never had to experience that. That's like me trying to tell a young girl what it's going to be like to experience a period. I don't know. I can only give her what I done read or what other women done told me. I can't give her no firsthand experience what it'll be like to experience a period. I ain't never been there, done that. I ain't never been there, done that. I ain't never had no period. I can't tell a little girl like, well, this is what you gonna feel like. Nah, you gonna go talk to these women that didn't experience this. So I don't care how much you act like a man. I don't care how much you act like a boy. Listen, you can't teach a book, like you can't guide a young boy to a man because you didn't have to experience the physiological changes that we did. You can't speak on that. You can't speak on that. Like you don't know you don't know the type of changes that's going on in that young boy's body. Fam, like you do not understand what's going on there. You didn't have to feel these changes, just like I didn't have to feel the changes of the young girl's body. You can't relate to that. I don't care how much you're trying to be like me. You can wear your hair just like me. You can try to lift the weights like me. I don't care what you do. You didn't have to experience these changes. But you got some women that think they can build on that. I'm trying to been around them. I done heard them think that they can actually instruct a young boy to become a man, thinking they can really do that. Like, no, when it comes to stuff like that, you cannot do that. Family, that's why we say it take a village. I'm gonna tell you flat out, I'm not finna be trying to coach no girl through no period, man. I'm about to go find, listen, that's the woman's job. I'm not doing that. We not discussing that. I don't know. I don't care about what I done read. I don't care about what I thought I done heard women say about that. Listen, go talk to your mama, go talk to your grandmother, go talk to your cousin, go talk to anybody that's been through that. Come on now. Straight up. So all that masculine nonsense, and I almost want to go off on Webby for that. You know, because when Webby now came out with the song INDEPE, like that right there, that contributed to that a little bit, man. Yeah, I almost want to go off on them for that song. I almost want to do that. That song right there created some problems. But that mentality was out before that. That mentality was out before that. He said they're going to change the definition soon. Hell, they might not even change the definition of masculinity. They might just get rid of the word. Like they getting rid of words out here. They might not even change the definition. They just going to tell us we can't say masculinity anymore. We got to say something else. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna do that. Because what was that? Like they trying to phase out those words, period. Because what, yeah, like in California, when they said you can't call it a manhole, you got to call it a maintenance hole. You know, like what? Like they trying to get rid of manhole and manpower. Like they just gonna get rid of masculinity. They ain't even gonna change definition. They just, we can't call it masculinity anymore. They gonna give us some universal term for it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put pan in front of the word. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put pan in front of a word, and we got to use that. So we ain't gonna be able to call it masculinity anymore. It's gonna be pan something, you know, and we gonna have to, that's what it's gonna be. That's what they gonna do. They just getting rid of the word. Like, man, you can't call it manhole. You got to call it maintenance hole. Man, what is a maintenance hole? Chaz, man, they get lost in translation. It's ridiculous. Terenzo, big eye, peace. What's happening, everybody that's tapped in, man? I'm looking for some questions out here. Real Supreme Justice. I didn't seen this chick, man. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was watching Sonetta TV. I think I seen her on that. That was the first time I saw her. I think she was on that joint. And man, she was going in on it. I'm like, man, what am I? I'm like, man, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I talk to the screen. Shut up. You know, but yeah, we don't own masculinity. But yet, when you look up the literal definition, you can't have the definition of masculinity without inserting boys and men in the definition. But we don't own masculinity. Go figure. Go figure. We don't own masculinity, but when you look up the definition of the word, boy and man or men are in the definition. But we don't own that though. So yeah, you know, that word gonna be phased out soon. It's gonna be phased out. It's gonna be phased out for sure. But they don't them type of chicks, fam. That's why, you know, with certain, like, that's why we say don't even debate with them, don't even argue with them, because I'm not finna, come on, man. I'm not about to I ain't arguing with that. You know, when you sounding like that, man, you're traumatized and you ain't let go of the trauma. You haven't healed, fam. You haven't healed. Isaac, what you say? Why do many mothers turn their sons into into husbands? I disagree with that kind of treatment. It has a negative effect on a boy. Oh yeah, I see that a lot, and I feel like a lot of that. So when you got women that be doing that, when they be looking at their son and be like, my son is my man, weird statements like that, man, you gotta tap into the relationship they had with their father. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tap into that. You gotta see what type of relationship they had with their father. That may explain why they on that type of weird time. You got to check the relationship or the lack thereof that they had with their father, and that could explain why they trying to turn their son into a husband on some weird type of time. So you got to check the relationship or lack thereof that they had with their father, because a lot of times that be stemming from that. Straight up. Straight up. Hey, Real Supreme. Hey, for sure. Hey, clocks in. What was I? 26, going on 27. And Lindell, what you say? You have men couples, women couples that adopt kids. Your take. Boy, y'all, I don't think they want to know my take on that. Emphatically no. Because the way I look at it, so this is how I be looking at that, fam. I deal with reaping the consequences for your, you know what I'm saying? Look, y'all made a decision. Y'all came together and decided y'all wanted to live a certain type of way that naturally would not involve children. I feel like the only people that should be out here adopting kids are a man and woman that's coming together that literally cannot have kids. Like the woman can't have kids, like the woman is infertile, the man infertile, whatever the case may be. I feel like those are the only people that should be able to adopt kids on that type of level in regards to two-parent household. That same sex stuff, no. That's add to the confusion. Y'all came together. Y'all knew y'all naturally couldn't come together and create a kid, but y'all want one for it. That lets me know y'all confused. Yeah, the world ain't gonna like that opinion, but that is what it is. So now you forcing that kid to grow up and see this confusion. That's messed up. That's messed up, if you ask me. I mean, that's confusion. That's confusion, man. Y'all came together, y'all decided to live a certain type of way to where naturally no kids can come out of this, and now y'all want to bring kids into it. Like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't like straight up, man. I ain't too fond. I'm not too fond of that. I'm not too fond of it. Y'all came together, y'all made a decision, and the decision that y'all made in regards to the lifestyle that y'all chose to live, that lifestyle naturally doesn't result in children being born. And y'all knew that. And it ain't got anything to do with a fertility issue. It's the lifestyle that y'all choosing to live. You not naturally respond. It doesn't naturally bring on children. So nah, I don't want to hear that. If you want to have kids, man, choose another lifestyle. Stuff is sick, man. So now you got these kids growing up all confused. And I wish somebody would come on here. Well, you got some of these same sex households that's less toxic than the man. We deal with the dysfunctional households all the time. We correcting the dysfunction in the heterosexual community, but don't act like there is no dysfunction in the same sex community in regards to them raising kids. So don't act like they all just raising kids peacefully and positively. See, don't do that. Y'all, we start to see more and more domestic abuse cases from the same sex. I'm starting to see a lot more cases of these women beating up on each other. Like we seeing a lot more cases of that. The stud beating on the chick. Like I'm seeing a lot more cases of that. You seeing a lot more cases of these women getting with each other than one woman cheating with dudes. We seeing a lot of that toxicity on the same sex side. So don't act like y'all are exempt from all of that going on. And don't act like y'all ain't bringing kids into toxic situations yourselves, because I promise y'all are. So don't act like that's not happening. So that adds even more layers to the confusion, because now not only are you bringing a kid into a confusing situation, now y'all acting unrighteous in the situation, making it even worse. Just imagine two women adopting a kid. And then next thing you know, kid get a little older. Now one of the women cheat on the spouse with a man. What type of confusion have we now got? Just imagine two dudes come together, adopt a kid get older, one of the dudes creep on the other dude with a woman. What type of confusion do we now have here? Come on now. Come on. Confusion, man. Confusion. But they don't like that though. Oh, Hatchet, you say I'm not going to out cat fight a woman. Yeah, emphatically no. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't even gonna play like that. Quinn, what you say? I have a question. Do you think us men taking our place as men of God, that the women will fall in line? You know, hey, everybody has their different perspective and idea of what that even means as far as men. But I just look at it as being righteous. And most definitely, I feel like for the most part, when we adopt a more righteous persona and energy, yes, they're going to fall in line. But every time I say that, people act like I say that like it's going to happen overnight. No, it takes time. It's going to take time for the women to get in line. You know what I'm saying? And one of the organizations that I look at, take the Nation of Islam, for example. No, I'm not a Muslim, but you have plenty of brothers that clean themselves up in the Nation of Islam, and they had women with them at the time, and those women converted right on over. You know, so it like we got a lot of examples of brothers joining organizations that's responsible for cleaning themselves up, and the women that they were with at the time joins the organization along with them. So we got a lot of examples of that happening in life, fam. So it might take time though, because we got to understand the history of the dysfunction, the history of the disconnect. It's a long history, so it's not going to change overnight. But the more of us that adopt a righteous energy and move in that righteousness, yes, it's going to be plenty of sisters that follow suit. Plenty of them. Not all of them, but it's going to be plenty of them. And it's going to happen over time. Not necessarily overnight, though. When you a brother, man, and you sticking to your studies and you stand on your square and you get with a sister, inevitably, she going to be intrigued. You know, inevitably, she going to be like, whatever dude is doing, that's working for him. I'm intrigued. She gonna want to learn more about it. Whether she fools with it or not, she gonna be intrigued. She gonna respect it because she see that you standing on your square, you not deviating from it. She gonna respect that. And if she doesn't, she's not the one for you anyway. Like at all. Terenzo for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, hey, I done had plenty enough videos get deleted, so wouldn't even phase me. Yeah, it wouldn't even phase me. I done had enough videos get deleted. Isaac, hey man, keep coming with the questions, man. We can answer questions all day, you know. But you say, if a kid grows up in a household with both parents arguing every day, does that always mentally and emotionally destroy the child? Now I'm gonna say, listen. So I'm gonna say, there's layers to that. There's layers to it, because I done seen some children come out of that type of environment and they thrive and succeed because they seen that and they understood early that that was bad and they didn't want to be like that. But even when they came out of that environment and succeeded, they might still be holding on to some trauma from that. So just because you might come out of something successfully from a material standpoint doesn't necessarily mean like mentally you all good. So anytime you in that type of environment as a child, it will leave an impression on you. But that don't necessarily mean that you're going to be destined for a life of like destruction. You know what I'm saying? So it's layers to that. So if you grew up in that household where everybody arguing all the time, like that's going to have an impact on you, but it can have the reverse impact. You can look at that like, man, I can't wait till I'm old enough to get out of this environment, and I never treat my kids like this. I never act like this toward people I love, this, that, and the third. I didn't see kids come out of that type of environment with that mindset. I've also seen kids come up in that environment and they reflect the environment. They're a product of the environment. So it sometimes just be dependent on the kid. You know, I done seen kids get treated a certain type of way, and they like, man, if I have a kid, I'm gonna never treat the kid how my mama or my daddy treated me. You got some other people, they treat the kid exactly the same way that they was treated. You know? You know, so it depends. Like it depends on that. You know what I'm saying? It depends. You know, I done seen people come out of those type of environments and they win, they thrive. But I done seen people become products of that type of environment, you know. So it really just depends. The best thing to do is to try to keep that away from the child, you know. But we just got to get better as adults too, in regards to just managing our emotions and handling disputes. We got to get more effective when it comes to communication instead of doing all of this random arguing. You know, a lot of times the argument stems from a misunderstanding. You know, some simple communication can fix it. You know, so a lot of times the arguments that we be having as adults in front of the kids be unwarranted, man. It be something that could simply be fixed with a simple communication, simple conversation. You know? So a lot of times, that's why I master the art a lot of times of just walking away, removing myself from the hostile environment so that I won't match energies, as they say. You know what I'm saying? When things get hostile, it's like walk away. Just walk away, fam. Like walk away. You know, when tensions are getting riled up, emotions getting riled up, sometimes the best thing for you to do is to walk away from the environment. Walk away. You know, instead of getting pulled into that type of environment, that type of situation, man, you got to go ahead and you got to walk away from that joint, like straight up. You know, and that stuff, that's what I've learned over time, man. Sometimes I just got to leave. I got to walk away. I got to clear my mind so that we can revisit this situation and I have a more level-headed response opposed to reacting. Like, nah, sometimes, man, you just gotta walk away. You know, gather your thoughts. Be more proactive with the situation, man. So when tension's getting riled up and high, man, if you feel yourself entertaining that energy, man, you gotta leave. So we gotta normalize getting better at communicating in front of kids instead of arguing. You know, we gotta do better with controlling that, mastering those emotions. Like that's what I feel, man. We a lot of times we justify arguments and all that a little too much, man. Like a lot of these arguments are unnecessary that we have. And we need to mature and realize that you don't have to argue. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no golden rule or no unwritten rule that tells me I have to argue. I don't have to argue with somebody I'm in a relationship with, somebody I'm married to. We don't have to argue. They don't have to be a part of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to come with the marriage. Oh, we got to argue. That's a regular part. Man, I don't have to argue with anybody. You don't have to argue with anybody. That ain't something that you have to do. You know, if I don't want to argue, I'm not arguing. I'm gonna walk away until everybody got a level head. Now we can have a conversation. Like straight up. I ain't gotta argue. I do not have to argue with anybody. Like there is nobody gonna put a gun in my head and say you gotta argue. Nah, it's called I'm walking away because I don't got time to entertain that. When we argue, that raises my blood pressure. That decreases the quality of my health. So I'm choosing not to do that. I value my blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like I value my health. Arguing doesn't add on to my health. That decreases my lifespan. And us black men, we already have a shorter lifespan in general. So I'm not going to do anything that will contribute to the decrease in that lifespan. Straight up. I ain't got to argue with not a person. If I don't like something, like if this is going in a certain direction, I don't have to entertain it. Isaac, man, the main reason why they do that is because they program to do so. You know, it's all about programming, man. They program to do so. They program to worship these so-called celebrities. You know what I'm saying? And they give you the so-called celebrities to worship so that they can lead the masses in the very wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So that's by design. You know, so we're gonna create something called a celebrity. You know, we're gonna make their lifestyle look a certain type of way. We're gonna get everybody to look up to this lifestyle, leading them in the path of destruction. That's by design, so they can get people to move in a certain way, move how they want them to move, think how they want them to think. You can't fool all the people all of the time, but if you fool the right one, then the rest will fall behind. That's what's up with all that celebrity worship. They designed it like such. They designed it like such. Lindell, you say, is there a good book on or somewhat related to the topics we are discussing today? Man, I don't know if I got a book that's related to the subject matter, but a good book, I would say a good book that will deal with maybe the last question that I asked is The Laws of Human Nature. Because again, when you tapping in and you in relationships, you dealing with human nature. So the better you understand, first of all, yourself, better you understand everybody else. So that book, The Laws of Human Nature, is a very good book because it really builds on like it really builds on human nature. Why we do the things that we do, why we act the way that we act. Isaac, nah, I'm not starstruck by anybody. You know, I didn't met some so-called celebrities, and it ain't nothing to me. I'm not really starstruck. I don't I don't like anybody that much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be starstruck. If I see somebody I fool with, it's more of a respect basis. Like I respect what they doing, and I chop it up with them if I'm able to. But I'm never about to break my neck to try to go chop it up with somebody. Nope. I done had some of my favorite rappers come to St. Louis, and I ain't have to go see them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be good on all that. I'm not like I don't view them people in that type of light. I respect what they do, and that's about it. I ain't never really like I'm not mesmerized by somebody, you know, because of their celebrity status. Like I don't care. Like, hey, I'm more so mesmerized by my mother and father, the things that they were able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother and grandfather, like I'm mesmerized by them. I'm starstruck with them. Like, man, like the stuff that my grandfather dude just hit what 92, 93, guy old he hit. Like that's I'm starstruck with dude. Like, man, dude living and he moving and grooving out here. Like, I'm starstruck with that. Like, I'm starstruck with my grandfather living to be this long and moving and grooving still. Like, that's how I'm starstruck with that. I'm looking at dude like dude the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the true GOAT right there. You know, straight up. Like that's the GOAT to me. I ain't looking at nobody outside of that as, oh man, if I see that I'm about to go crazy. I don't care about them people like that because I don't know these people. I just listen to your music or I just watch you on the. I don't know you though. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't about to be going crazy when I see you. Like if I see you, it's peace. Hey, I like what you doing. Keep up the good work, and I'm gone. Like it's straight up like that. You know, if you ain't trying to have a conversation with me, I ain't trying to have a conversation with you. So I can feel the vibe. Now, if I see you in this piece and I like what you're doing, and it's a conversation stemming from that, then I engage. But if it's peace, I like what you're doing, and you be like, thank you, whoop, man, I can keep going. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that deep to me. I'll shake your hand and keep on moving. I ain't got to get no picture with you, none of that. You hear what I'm saying? I don't like pictures no way. So I ain't got to get no picture with you. I ain't got to get you to sign my shirt. Nah, man, I don't be caring about none of that, man. I ain't into that type of energy at all. Like I said, man, my grandfather, dude the GOAT to me. You know what I'm saying, man? That man 90 plus, still moving and grooving, still got the memory of I'm saying, of a 20-year-old. That's GOAT level right there. Yeah, that's GOAT level activity right there. Isaac, what you say? You say, do you think racism is a taught behavior? Twofold. Again, there's layers to that. So I'm gonna say, in a sense, some of it is taught. Yeah. So in a sense, I'm gonna say some of it is taught for sure. But I feel like it's even layers to that question because you have the layers of it. You have the layers of it that are taught. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the racism that's taught, but then you have the like what we call the covert racism. You know, the races that are in the closet. So they indirectly or subconsciously are passing down certain things to the kids that the kids ain't even hip to. You know, so it could be situations like that. That's why I always say, man, it's levels and layers to it. It's levels and layers to it for sure. So yeah, you can teach it. I'm gonna say you teaching it directly and indirectly. Yeah, these concerts, man, I ain't paying that much money to see nobody, fam. I'll watch you on YouTube, whatever the case may be. I don't need to go to a function with a bunch of people around me acting all hype and whatnot, man. I ain't got time for that. Just to barely be able to see you because I done probably got the seats that's a little further back, man. I ain't got time for that. I'm just not, that just ain't me. You know, for sure. You know, that ain't me, never will be. So I don't get caught up into that groupie lifestyle, you know. And a lot of people that I like anyway, they unfortunately then passed on. You know what I'm saying? Like the great folks that I would have liked to see have passed on. There's really nobody that I really care to be seeing like that these days, that people call a celebrity. You know, the people that I rock with way back in the day, they are ancestors now. You know, so I'm not really, you know, I don't feel that way about folks like that, man. Like I said, I just respect what people do and I keep it pushing, I keep it moving. But y'all, with that being said, man, it's looking like I got to make a move. As always, I'm on African time. I'm always running a little late to this gym and whatnot, man. But I got to go ahead and tap out, head on up to this gym, finish off my clients for the evening. So I'm going to let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Thursday, man. Hey, I'm going to try to tap in again with y'all tomorrow. Who knows? We on the road. We always got something that we can build on because knowledge is infinite, you know. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday, man. Y'all stay healthy, y'all stay peaceful and productive out here. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. At least I'm gonna try to. But I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate donations. Appreciate all the love, man. Y'all stay healthy. Y'all stay black. Y'all stay positive. I'm out. Peace.